Okay, so this is our area where we store the biochar materials. Now, here is a very good case in point of an extraordinarily prickly piece of berry vine. That, if you composted it, it would remain prickly. But what we do is, you can see them there from, this is last season's berries, so those aren't quite dry yet. We just leave them there, let them dry, and then next year we'll put them in the tea-lud, which is the top lid up draft machine, which I'll show you in a moment. And it renders all those into perfect biochar. Now, Wynne has also backpiled some sticks which are really too small to bother to take in the house and burn on the fire. So we have another method, the bathtub method, which does for sticks like this that are really not particularly helpful for keep it for the indoor fire. Here is some eucalypt offcuts from, you can see all the gum nuts. Now, we collected these for seed, so we had them inside, kept them warm, they shed their seed. I shook them all, and then you're left with this kind of stuff. And we make biochar out of it just because it's handy, and we really have plenty of eucalypt trees, so we really don't need any more eucalypt mulch. And it goes really nicely into biochar. This machine is called a tea-lud, and it's obviously very easy to make one at home. So tea-lud is top lit up draft. So you fill this, oh, by the way, it's got holes in the bottom, I should point out, which is to let air in. So you fill it up and pack it really tight. And Wynne has this homemade packer, which I can hardly lift, and he pounds the stuff really tight. So that's all of that stuff I was showing you that's impossible to compost or anything else. And then you light the top. So it's got to be lit, but the whole point is that the process needs to be anaerobic. You need to keep the oxygen out, but you won't be able to light it if you don't have some oxygen. So you light it and get it going. And when the top is going, you then put the chimney on, and it fits tightly. You bang it on with a mallet, and essentially you leave this to cook and turn all of that material, dry material, into biochar. There's an art between, you don't want smoke to come out of the top because you don't want it to burn. And so you play around with how much oxygen you allow in. Sometimes you pull this back and lift it up so that the oxygen can go through those holes at the bottom. Other times you actually throw up some earth around the bottom to really seal off the oxygen. It just depends on the material. It depends a bit on the windy day and so on. But after 2 to 3 hours, you shouldn't see smoke coming out. You need to take away oxygen if you see smoke coming out. But what you do see is that shimmery thing of heat going up. It should be see-through. So when that's finished, it means that the biochar is made. You take the lid off, you tip it out, and you hose it down because you want it to stop burning. Now, if it's black, it's biochar, and that's good. If it's white or grey, it's gone to ash, and you've done something wrong. So try again with another lot. The other thing that I was digging in was biochar. And this is biochar that's made from bits of sticks of eucalypts that have been lying around under the trees, leaves, and the other thing that we make biochar from is anything that's prickly. This biochar is so brittle that although they've still got the prickles on, they can't possibly hurt you and damage your skin. And the other thing is, because we're seed collectors, we have lots of hakea nuts, and hakea nuts likewise, they've got a point on them. And there's several other, and for instance, Acacia genistifolia, spreading wattle, has very pronounced thorns all of those things we make into biochar, which is a wonderful way of recycling them in a way that, although they were prickly, they're no longer able to hurt you. And the soil just adores to have this dug in. It's hard to imagine having too much biochar in your soil.